What is going on, guys? Chad here from Scoped In, and today we're going to be talking about the best Apex Legends settings for console players. Being a console gamer doesn't have to be like it always has been. Recently, developers have started giving console gamers control over things like graphics settings, advanced gameplay settings, and other things that we've never before seen on consoles. And with Apex Legends, we can take advantage of these settings and give ourselves the edge we have been looking for. So today we're going to take a look at how to get that edge. Starting with my absolute favorite setting option that is included in Apex Legends, Field of View. This setting is absolutely awesome and I suggest you use it. What this setting does is it actually lets you scale the angle of view that you have, and the higher number that you have, the more you'll see. This setting is insanely useful and gives you a better view of the battlefield. This means less opponents sneaking up on you and just an overall better awareness. Now, while this setting is insane, you may be asking, what should I set this to? And that, my friend, is a difficult question. It really depends on which console you're on, and for PC, it really depends on how well your PC is. You're just going to have to mess with it. So, for example, I jacked mine all the way to max the first time I saw the setting, and it made the gameplay almost unplayable, and it felt like I was lagging the whole time. But if tuned properly, you can dial in a setting that doesn't impact performance and gives you better awareness. The footage you are seeing is from an original Xbox One with the field of view set to 100, and if you're playing on an Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, or just a PS4, I would definitely suggest you test the settings to find something that works right for your console and gives you the best advantage. My second favorite setting to change is damage numbers. What damage numbers are is basically the accumulation of damage done to an enemy, and it is shown for any damage event, such as bullets being shot into an enemy, or like grenades or something, just any form of you dealing damage to an enemy. Now, by default, this is set to stacking. What this does is it shows the combined number of all recent damage done to an enemy player. This is good because it shows a total, but this does not give you all the info, and I like as much info as possible. While the individual shots register, they are added up over time in this setting, meaning you aren't getting all the information like I'm saying. So there's an alternative to that, and that is floating. Floating basically shows you one number for each damage event. So for example, if a bullet hits an enemy, this is nice, it shows the exact damage for that, but it does not add it up, and you'll have to do it for each individual bullet. So if each shot's say for 14, you've got to add up 14, 14, 14 to know how much damage you did for 3 shots. Now, there is another way to do this, and that is by using the both feature. So I enable stacking and floating at the same time just by enabling the both measure. And what this basically does, this lets us view the individual damage, and it's also tallying up the total damage underneath, meaning you get the most information possible. Moving to audio. Audio. This is way more important than a lot of people give credit to. And if you're new to gaming or just trying to win more games, get a headset if you don't have one already. Do it. Like, go do it now if you don't. I'm not saying you need a $200 surround sound headset, but trust me, a stereo headset does wonders. It's way better than TV speakers and monitors, sound and everything. Just get you a headset. With that being said, mess with your audio settings as well, because you can fine tune this to make things easier for you. So basically what I like to do is I like to balance the audio that gives me the best advantage. And I found that lowering the music to about 50% for in-game is a little bit better, and also setting the dialogue volume to 70 gave me a really good sound balance. So I'm able to hear enemies that are close, gunshots in the distant, and still hear important team chatter without drowning out footsteps of other, say, teammates near me or enemies approaching. Button layout. This is definitely something you're going to have to figure out for yourself. Now, for me, I prefer default preset mainly because I have an Xbox Elite controller, I have paddles on the back, and I can jump around and stuff and reload without taking my thumbs off the right thumbstick, so I can aim constantly. Now that's cool, but say you don't have an Elite controller, or you don't want to invest that kind of money into it, or you prefer playing the way you normally do, well, if that is the case, I suggest trying to learn something like Bumper Jumper. And the reasoning why is this gives you an advantage of still being able to jump shot without taking your thumb off the right stick. This basically means you have complete control of your aim in a gunfight if you decide to start jumping around, and this is insanely valuable. Sensitivity is something that can always use advanced options and customization. This helps you dial in your aim perfectly. It means more kills, winning more gunfights. So this is important. Do not take this lightly. So please take the time to find out what works for you. What I suggest is to use a higher sensitivity for the default sensitivity. This way, whenever you're looking around and you have enemies, say, sneak up on you, you have a higher sensitivity to be able to snap to them and get them in your general frame of view, and a lower sensitivity for your sensitivity ADS. This basically means that your sensitivity will be slightly lower when aiming down sights with your weapon, which means better control once you snap to them. Now the response curve goes hand in hand with sensitivity. This basically tells the game how to use the input for your controller, and in Apex Legends there are 5 settings. Number 1 is your classic. This is your classic Respawn Titanfall feel. 2 is steady. It's a balance of firm control and fast aim. 3 is fine aim. It's specialized for small gradual movements. And high velocity is number 4. It's a quick response for the very even-handed. And 5 is last, and that is linear. It's raw input, and this is to be used with an Xbox One Elite controller if you have already a specific response curve set up in the software. I personally do not use that software curve for the Xbox One Elite controller, so I like to use steady. And the reason why I like this, I feel like it gives you a good input where I have a lot of control over my aim and it's very responsive, but I also feel like I still have enough control where I can do very small movements and I still have complete control over my aim. But once again, I definitely suggest you go through here and find out what works for you. Lastly, set your look dead zone to none. This will make your aim way more responsive, and setting your dead zone to none means as soon as you move your thumbstick, your reticle will move, which will be super helpful in very important gunfights. Well, that is going to wrap it up for the best Apex Legends settings for console players. Let us know what settings you find useful and what settings we missed that should have been in this video in the comment section down below. And if you guys stayed all the way to the end of the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already, be sure to get subscribed to be notified for future videos on Apex Legends. And once again, thank you guys for watching. This has been Chad from Scoped In, and I will see you in the next one.